Hello. What's up, people? No, I gotta move my camera. I forgot it was all the way the hell down there. Look at that shit. Oh, there we go. You all get to look at me all dirty like. Okay, so before we start bringing anybody into voice tonight, we're gonna go over some ground rules. I posted these rules in every Discord that I posted this about. Tonight, we're gonna hold things a little bit differently. Okay, so here we go. Rules are pretty simple. We're going to keep this clean. We're going to keep this polite. Like I said, this is not Jerry Springer. There will be no DNA test. There will be no big reveals. We are here to talk about what has been and what is to come and what we will be doing with the game. There will be no NQ bashing. Not constructive. Does not need to happen. NQ bashing does only two things. Make us look like we're in middle school and make them not want to interact with us. That's what NQ bashing achieves. So let's not do that. Did Jerry get a hold of you with that? I am not sponsored, Genitalis. I don't know who told you that, but yeah, I don't get shit from NQ for nothing. In fact, they didn't even give me all the referral stuff. At this point, I have probably gotten less from NQ than most of the average players. So, yeah, no, they're not sponsoring me. I wish. Then I wouldn't be in half the problems I'm in right now. I am by no means a butt kisser. But at the same time, I'm an adult. And I realize that if we call them names and we bash them, then they're just not going to listen. And we want them to listen. And they react because even when I've been irritated, I've always been respectful. And that's a very important thing. Exactly, Decker. That is the question. How are we going to handle this and what are we going to do? But what most people don't realize is how are we going to handle this is not just the concept of what we're going to do as players. There's so much more to it than that. So tonight we're going to discuss the reality of the fact that the wipe is happening. It's coming. What are we going to do with it? How are we going to move forward? And if we want this game to succeed, what are we going to do to make sure that happens? Because at this point, it's just as much on our shoulders as it is NQ to make this game succeed. So tonight, we're going to go over what XVX is going to be doing from here on out. We're going to be going over other options, get feedback on what other people are deciding to do, and we're going to handle this. Now, we are going to be a little more strict on conversation tonight. And there is one rule in there. Do not talk over the host. I'm going to be enforcing that tonight. So, we got to keep this civil, keep this organized. Okay? Yeah. So, let's see. If you want to join us in voice chat tonight, I'm going to put a link in the stream chat. That is a link to the Discord for Dutt. If you join the Discord, make sure you go to Discord rules, read the rules, then go to role acceptance and type in accepted. If you skip the reading part and go to and just type accepted, I will still hold you accountable as though you read the rules because you're saying you have. So please, read the rules. They're going to be enforced tonight. And they're going to be enforced strictly. I'm about to unmute. I got Corzarius already in the chat with me, and we're going to start looking into who we're pulling down. Code and Views, thank you for the Prime sub, brother. Let's get this going. Hey, Cor.
Hey, yeah.
What's up? We got KBLA, one of our other mods up in the holding tank. KB, whenever you're ready, you can jump down. We are going to limit the number of people in this chat to 6. People will be dragged in and out. Huh?
Counting not mods?
Not counting mods.
Roger.
So, including the 3 of us, I'm just going to set it at 10 people so that way, including the 3 of us, it shouldn't go over 10 tonight, okay? That gives 7 spots.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think about the subject for tonight and how I presented it at the start? Did you hear what I was saying?
Yeah. No,
Yep.
I think I'm on board with all that.
Okay. So, first thing we're going to touch on is, let's be blunt, this is before we bring anybody in here for opinions. We're going to hold on. So, before any opinions are voiced, there's no change in the fact that a wipe is happening. It's coming. You can't change it. No matter how much you gripe or complain about it, they're not going to change their minds at this point. No matter how much you post videos of them saying they weren't going to wipe, they're going to do it. So, we now get to play the adults in the situation and figure out how we're going to mitigate this and work with this. Now, the sad part is that they're wiping because of financial imbalance in the game, giving new players a good start. I hate to tell them this, but I know this game like the back of my hand. It ain't going to take me 2 kicks of a dog's ass to be able to get myself back to where I am right now. And the new players are still going to be sitting there looking dumbfounded. So, while I don't agree with their reasoning, it's happening. So I'm going to roll with it. And I'm going to prove them that I'm telling exactly the damn truth. That that's exactly what's going to happen. So, let's start this conversation up. I'll let you guys decide. What do you think tonight?
We've got too many waiting to pull them all in at once.
Yep, hold on. Let me pop this channel out so I can get that up on the stream so people can see y'all's pretty faces. There we go. Hey, look at that! There's a pretty face up there.
What? Me?
Okay. I think we're okay. Go ahead and bring a resource down. I want to bring Code down because he represents a very specific aspect of the game. Strider, who is Strider? You? Yeah, bring Strider down. And we're going to leave it at that for right now. We'll bring more down later. Okay? Strider, Code, Resource. What's up?
Hey yo,
Okay, so
well,
go ahead.
I got one little thought to throw out there,
What's that?
and that's that I have played this game to the point of feeling like I won. So if you're gonna make me replay the same damn game again, I'm out. But if you're gonna bring something new to the game and make it a new game, bring it.
Decker, when you're ready to join, hop in the holding tank. It will definitely bring you in, brother.
That's what I gotta say to NQ. Is you better bring it.
Yeah, but the game might be a little bit different now. I mean, you'll be starting the game up with an entirely new, different group of people in a different way. And
Look, man, I did the alpha 2 to alpha 3 wipe. I did the wipe in beta. So this is going to be my third wipe.
yeah,
And that's fine, but you better give me a new game to play.
I mean, it is different already. Like, we already have the new first time user experience, which, like, I tried it on the PTS. I assume you did as well. So I mean, there's differences, but yeah, I'm also hoping that we have some more new stuff. We'll see what that is, if that is.
I have a feeling that there's going to be a couple of camps that come out of this, right? There's going to be people who played the game hard, like people like Warpforge were saying, like, you know, they feel like they've won the game, probably because they've played it enough where they've accomplished so many things that there's not a whole lot that they haven't done from a creative side, perhaps. I'm kind of like the opposite. I have so little free time. And I've been playing since pre-alpha. Like, I've been here since the beginning. And I still don't feel like I've accomplished even half of the things that I want to do. And honestly, a wipe kind of excites me because there are, you know, mistakes I've had in construct creation, things that I'm kind of excited to start over with. Like, you know, I could have done it at any point. Sure, I could have wiped myself and started over, but starting from ground zero feels more organic and more fun to me anyways.
Okay, now Code. We're going to touch on this from your perspective. You have a different perspective from more Porridge, KB, Corazarius, and Strider. Somewhat Corazarius, you have a similar, but you're in more of like designing flight systems and stuff like that. You're more like you're hardcore Lua. That's pretty much your entire gameplay, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of my gameplay. I also design ships because I enjoy the flight engineering side of things, and I also enjoy making bases too. I'm not a voxelmancer, but I will say this. So I don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to say that I'm hoping NQ brings more player creation tools to the table, and there is a change that happened that, you know, it hasn't really become widespread enough for people to be aware of what's being done by some creators in the community. But in the last Lua changes, they've made enough performance tweaks that you're going to start seeing some like way more augmented reality experiences in the game. Like, for example, there's somebody right now who is working on their very own version of an avatar versus avatar combat system, which has, you know, it doesn't have any real world impact whatsoever. But it's entertainment, you know. It's kind of like like a Second Life kind of game thing where you can jump into a game within the game.
Oh, that's crazy.
And there's people working on even more augmented reality type things that we can do now, just because the performance is better than what it was before. It was a lot laggier, and we had mouse tracking issues, stuff like that. So I mean, those things take time because, I mean, these people are creating mini games on their own with like one or two people doing it, so it takes months and months of development to do those things. But I do think we're going to see more player-made content coming out, and hopefully that'll help provide some alternate interest.
Like, how do we? Another big thing with that is, like, how do we make sure that we spotlight those people that are doing cool projects like that, so that they're way more widely known, right?
I would love. I mean, I hate to. I wish more people would reach out to me like that kind of stuff. If you're a Lua person and you're designing some cool shit, let me know. I will put your ass on stream and show it off and tell the world about it, okay? Because people need to see this stuff. If they don't see this stuff, you know, that adds a lot of it to the game. That adds a lot of the content to the game that people are looking for. So talk to me. I will put you on stream. I'll put you on live, and you guys will be able to show off your stuff.
Yeah, Lua people are normally like living in their little cave, but when they're ready, not to force them, find an outlet to like get that information out, besides like a Discord channel or whatever, right? Like, because more people are gonna see it when it's out in the open.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think part of it is on InQ as well, because InQ, especially for the last however long, has not been as involved in the community as we would like. And they used to. Like, there was the puzzle events that went on for a while. There was, of course, the Thoramine event way back in the day. Like, they've had little events, things here and there, but I really think they need to step up that side of their game. And then they could use that as a way to highlight player creations. When people make their own stuff, they could turn it into an official event and get a lot of people aware of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm personally of two minds about that, because I feel like they really need to focus on bringing those different pillars of the game to life now that the game is, if they're considering it a launch condition.
No feedback?
I hope boobies come back and murder some Legion.
For
So-
those not in the know, that was a Legion person and a Boo person talking most recently.
Yeah, that is KBLA of Legion and Silva, the leader of Boo.
But that was resource. But we're game.
Yep.
All right, resources a booby.
We are gonna have some fun. Don't worry.
Yeah, to reiterate what Code said, for me, like, I came into the game late, and I'm really excited for like that fresh, like, day one starting line experience. In a lot of games I've played, I've really enjoyed that. And like, yeah, you can make the argument some players are gonna get super far ahead again or whatever, but like, it's gonna be such a different feeling, I think, this time.
Yeah, I can see the merits of that. Like, it's a cool experience doing that start from fresh thing, and I'm kind of excited to do it. I do question the logic, and that, I mean, like you said, that the decision's already made, it's done and over. But I don't know. I do still think that we're going to end up in a very disparate situation again quite rapidly. Like, I think within a few months we're going to have multimillionaires again.
I hope so.
Well, there's a distinct difference between the play styles of the person who can casually play for 5 to 10 hours a week versus someone who can actually spend greater amounts of time in the game.
Yes.
And that's always difficult to balance for every MMO.
The biggest advantage I think the established players are going to have is we're going to already have a knowledge of how to exploit. Well, I don't want to use the word exploit, but we're going to know how to make the system work the way we need it to work to progress ourselves in the game.
But that's one of the benefits of starting early.
Yeah.
It's not like we didn't pay for that advantage. And spending the time to learn the game, that'll come naturally for everyone who's going to be playing it. It's just that some are going to be there faster than others.
Oh, yeah.
But that also means they're going to have the ability and the talent to make really cool shit for everyone else to explore, which is pretty awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's an elephant in the room that we have to address, which is a fundamental reason for why a wipe occurred is the amount of player drop-off that happened. And sure, like, you can say as many things are fault of InQ and bugs and exploits and things like that, and that's all true. But if the player count had not gone down over time and instead had increased, I'd be willing to bet they wouldn't have wiped. I think one of the fundamental reasons that a wipe was on the table to begin with was because probably more than half the player base has gone idle, AFK, out of the game, and there's a lot of just idle, dead constructs out there that make the game look empty. And I think what they want from the start of the game is to have only active people active constructs, at least at launch, because that's how you get new players into it.
Code, I agree with you completely. But here's the thing that I'm worried about. There are a lot of people who are very salty about this game, who are just waiting for it to be released so that they can dump all sorts of negativity about DU. And if NQ doesn't come out with something to wow people, and they just roll out the same game, just cleaned off, I think they're in trouble.
I agree, unfortunately.
I have a lot of sympathy for the people who didn't want the wipe to happen, because it was made pretty clear at the beginning of beta that they had said that, you know, they would try very much not to wipe. Well, we've had some community members who've passed away and their works are going to go by the wayside, and that's really sad to see too.
There was a post in the Dual Universe Discord. Somebody had posted a video where they had made comments about, you know, the beta is the start. You can work and you can build up now, and you can invest time in the game. You know, and if there has to be a wipe, and they'll incorporate your assets into what they're calling at that time magic blueprints and stuff. So there was a lot of comments early on that basically said, invest your time. You can do it. It's not going to be a waste. And I think that was what got to a lot of the more, especially older players that were here from alpha and early beta, was we came into it being told, build up.
Yeah, build it.
Do
Build
it.
it.
You know, and, you know, it's going to be there. Even if we have to wipe the maps, we're going to give you these magic blueprints and you'll get your stuff back.
Right.
You know, and I personally am indifferent to the wipe. I really am. The wipe happens, yay. Wipe doesn't happen, oh well. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to me. I know how to build in the game. I don't even care about losing my blueprints. I could build every damn ship here again with my eyes closed. But that's just the way my brain works.
My challenge is that I feel like NQ has consistently disrespected its player base, and I don't know how you get around that.
Can I ask what you mean by that?
What I mean by that is when you say invest your time and your time will be protected, and then you're losing everything. When you're told, oh, we're thinking about a wipe, but we're not going to tell you anything for months and months and months while people drop off and we end up in this, you know, disparate situation. But, I mean, these are the kinds of disrespect that I saw from Sony Online Entertainment towards Star Wars Galaxies when they did their combat upgrade. And in fact, if you look at the panels of those developers, they talk about their number one mistake was creating negative gaming environments. That a player should never feel punished. You saw that again with CCP and EVE Online, where the developers came out directly and said, oh, you know, we believe in punishing the players because they learn faster when they're being punished. And I just, I feel like we're getting that same sort of negative gaming experience by NQ's lack of community care. I mean, if NQ Narius were here, I don't think we would have it would have been handled as poorly. But unfortunately, she's not.
That was one of the things I was going to bring up. Like, I think I understand the frustration about some of the stuff that you're talking about, and like kind of felt like some of that trust may have been violated, but we sorely lacked an active community manager pretty much from the time I joined until now, right? And I think Rubicon is now officially a community manager. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that might be the case. It's either Ruby or Nico.
Well, Nizalter is still around. But there have been plenty of absences for sure.
Yeah, well, and like my experience specifically, like with this text-based MUD I've been playing since 1996, is that like the community manager is like as active as like Carter, right?
Right.
They're like in there all the time. they're answering the stupid camper questions all the time, and I just don't feel like we've had that kind of representation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the, and we can talk
Just
about
some overbearing
issues.
moderators like myself.
Yeah, we can we can talk about issues with MQ, but the biggest issue, honestly, hasn't even really been the developers. Most games, with their marketing, and I'm going to use Star Citizen as an example of this. Star Citizen, that company, I swear to God, their PR and marketing team is second to none. Those people know how to excite their players about patches that actually are negative patches, but yet they get players hyped up about them. They will have patches coming that technically change everything. Like what we've been dealing with GU, but the way they present it, the players are happy about it. They're supportive of it. Yeah, okay, well, whatever, but it's a new patch. Moving forward, we're getting closer. Things are happening. Even to the point to where they put out these notes, and all of a sudden people are buying massive packages of ships to support the game. I'm not saying NQ needs to do that for money pooling, but the way you present the information is a big factor of how it's accepted.
Is it possible that the difference is that in that game you're affecting the gameplay and it affects everyone, whereas here we are designing things that are uniquely ours, that we put our own time into building, that we own for all intents and purposes in the game. And when you create a patch that breaks something that we've spent time on that is uniquely ours, that's different than Star Citizen, right? That's different than, okay, the same thing is affecting everybody equally.
Well, I think his point was like in the restaurant industry, like there's an old saying. It's like if you come out and a table orders something and you say, "Oh yeah, we're out of fish sticks," right? That sounds like somebody somewhere made a mistake, right? But if you say we sold out, it's like more well packaged as to like, the fish sticks were really good and they're out. We sold out.
Yeah, it's all. That's what I'm trying to say. It's all in how they presented the information, and to be honest, they haven't been that great about presenting the information. It always, the patches, there's no energy to them. Even the videos when you watch them, like I love Decker to death. I love some of these people. They're awesome people, but their energy and the way they present things, it's very ho hum. It's very hard to get excited about what they're saying. And then the way the information is presented, it's either very vague and not exact, or very convoluted and very overly detailed when it doesn't need to be. So it's hard for the average player to really get into it. And let's just say, how do you put this? As far as marketing for the game goes, that was another big disillusion. We talked about this at a previous stream. A lot of us, well, not me, but a lot of the players that came into beta saw these videos of community-based gaming where people were interacting in factories and doing stuff in these big fleet battles and all these interactive things that showed a community presence. And yes, we are Gremlin. And that we got into the game that wasn't there. Yes, Gremlin, we're going to be getting to that very soon. This is kind of an open
screenshot of that for later, so Serapis can put it on the screen.
I mean, even like where you see like 20 dudes all building the same building together. I'm sure you guys have seen that little splash screen that they had up. Dude, you try that, you'll end up with pending in our operations all over the place.
Or mining an asteroid.
I hate to say it, but I think the nail is right on the head here, that the issue is, or at least a decent portion of the issue is their marketing department. Yeah. And I don't think that they either don't have a marketing department that is invested and they're not like actually communicating on a daily basis with the team because of those things that we're seeing. Like, I'm willing to bet that that type of content that gets put out there for advertising purposes, I'm betting it doesn't go through any sort of process. Like, it's probably just like, oh, what are you putting in the game? You're putting mining into the game? Okay, cool. We're going to slap some avatars onto asteroid, and there's going to be hundreds of them. They're all going to be mining, and that's perfect, great. I don't think they go through any sort of typical marketing back and forth to get things refined. And I think it does, sadly, I think, come down to money. I don't think they can afford a better team.
It also comes down to their experience as a gaming company. I mean, they don't have any kind of experience as a production company. They have some people that have experience in development, but as far as a company as a whole, it's like, we're watching 2-year-olds walking around, stumbling, bumping into stuff, And I hate using that because I'm not trying to be disrespectful to them at all, but it's kind of the way it is.
I do wonder how well their internal communication works. Like, I don't want to take shots or anything here, but like, I don't know. Some of their tweets were just factually inaccurate. Like they made some hype tweets a few times there, and I responded to some of them, and I hope I didn't come across too snarky, but I was like, this is just wrong. Like they tweeted a thing with like a little like highlight of Felly, and it's like with no atmosphere to speak of, and I'm like, Felly literally has the thickest atmosphere by an order of magnitude of any planet in the system.
All right, guys. As much as I love to stick around, I gotta go.
All right, Silva.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Boo.
Okay, so
We'll see you on the flip side.
you have a good night, Silva.
Bye.
Okay, so let's hit on the topic. XVX, this is what we're going to do. Okay? And it's very simple. We're going to work together. We're going to land on the planet that's around the same area, try to focus where we are. Collectively build up and get moving as quickly as possible. I think all of us are probably going to go for that pilot base because it gives you the extra ship parts and stuff. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, if you.
Yeah, so we kind of have
ask for them to. Sorry, real quick. We asked for them to give us like a list of all the bases.
Yeah.
What they have.
But we're gonna go with the pilot's bases because it has the extra engines and extra parts for ships, so we can use those, the pod and the starter ship, to kind of start getting moving and collecting. We're gonna just focus on, for that first stage, is harvesting as much damn ground resources as we can. Selling it to the bots if we got to, producing what we got to, and start building up as quickly as we can so we can get off of the starter planet. But that's us. If somebody wants to be part of that for that initial kick up and then go off on their own later on, they're welcome to do that too. That's always been the way we work. We're here for you when you need us. If you don't need us, do your thing. Cool. But the biggest thing, and I need to talk to my members about this, because my biggest thing going forward is if we're going to pursue this and we're going to move forward with the game after the wipe, yeah. But if we're going to go forward with the wipe, we need to be positive about the game. We need to be supportive of new players that don't know what's going on.
The state of the new player experience right now requires essentially what I'll just call hand holding.
Yeah.
For lack of a better phrase. Because especially if someone is literally brand new, they're going to have no idea. And then even players that played in the past, there have been quite a few changes. Like, they might not even understand what Decker just said about the 6 hours for the first charge. Mm-hmm. And like, you could swap out the S miner for an L miner once you have it made, and then ground is going to be king, asteroids, the first DSAT. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that like.
So I do want to interject something here, because I'm looking for help from any and all sources, because I'm not just a coder, I'm also a designer. So I'm actually working up currently kind of like an infographic kind of thing to hopefully make it go viral in the DU community. And it's targeted towards brand new players to the game. Kind of like what to do in your first 2 weeks on Haven. Like how to get started, teach new players about different mechanics, because I don't want them to come in, go through the FTUE, do the tutorial screen, set up their mining thing, and then be like, oh, I should come back in 3 days? Well, I guess I got nothing else to do. I'll just come back in 3 days, right? when there's plenty of things to do. Like, it doesn't really guide you towards harvesting ground or stuff like that. So I'm trying to put that together now. So literally anybody out there, if you've got ideas, things that you think are critical for like the first week or 2 weeks of a new player experience, message me or ping me on the XVX Discord so I can get more ideas in there.
And if you're interested in the XVX Discord, this is the link to that. That's my normal Discord. That's for the XVX Gaming Group. You're welcome to join that. If you have a new player that's going to be joining and you think they need some extra support in game, you're welcome to bring them there. Whether they join XVX or not, we still have a group. We tag them with XDU friends, and we still got your back. You don't have to be a part of XVX to be in the Discord and get support. We're still going to help you out.
There are a lot of like little orgs of 5 and 6 people that are also members of XVX. So definitely join us.
Yeah, I think that most of the established orgs are already starting to put together their game plan, but also we have a big announcement in 6 days, and I think that can kind of shape and mold some of the plans. Obviously not everything, but we're gonna find out quite a bit, I think, on the 16th.
Okay. So Smallville, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So
Called out.
okay, so
Sir, I'm gonna bounce out. I think you ought to keep it down to a reasonable amount of people.
yeah, well,
So I'm
4
gonna
of the
bounce out.
people in here are mods and myself, so we only have 6 people in here. But Smalls, factory wise, this with the new changes and everything going forward, you'd probably be sticking to more specialized factories. Am I right?
Probably starting out with. Depends on how big your org is, but yeah.
So this is the new system will be supportive of new players. I mean, the new player can come in easily, get a few schematics, and start building stuff without having to go through the process of flying to another planet and buying the schematics, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to think of the new system.
Have you, obviously now with the reset information, there's less motivation, but were you able to get your factory kind of up and running again?
No, I mean, I started building it. I started burning through my 13 alts, copying schematics, and within 12 days I was up to 500 million quanta spent. So that just shows me on release it's going to be forever before anybody's really producing anything because of a quanta.
Yeah, I suspect we're going to end up with mostly very specialized factories. Just the quanta cost is so high.
Even I was mining good hematite tiles, getting 3 million hematite a week. And now, yeah, I'm taking it to the bots and selling it. That's only 80 million quanta. So, plus tile tax, cover all that. It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
That's if we get bots.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to talk at some point during this talk about questions that we want to ask for the Ask Ophelia. I have a few on my list that I want to put forward. And just if anyone else has any ideas, we should get those in there because they're going to be making that probably.
Hold on
tomorrow.
1 second, okay? There is a text chat in Discord here called Questions at the top. It is where only moderators can type in it. So any questions that anybody types in, or you guys feel, you want to add to that, let's add it into that channel. Can I get you guys to help me out with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, remember what Decker just pointed out. In the first 3 minutes, you get, assuming there's still a login bonus, plus the challenges stuff. You're already at almost 1 million quanta in the first hour. And then,
fair.
you have an opportunity, especially if you're in an org situation, to, have a central bank and then kind of pool those resources.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how group play plays out.
I'm thinking
Yes.
we're going to see more of what they advertise in some regards to the whole organizational group play. Because you're
Did
going to
it feel
have
like
to.
there was more, like prior to 2-3, like more group play?
There's never been the group play that they advertise, but I think with the wipe and with this is going, it's going to be. I think we're going to see more group play because, like Bobby was saying, to build you're going to need a group. To have any kind of industry, you're going to need a group. I'm not going to have the option of being just a solo ship designer like I am now. That's not going to be an option anymore. We're going to have people in the org that are ship designers that build ships, that go out, we sell these ships for profit for the org, and we work as a group and everybody succeeds. Especially for the first part of the game.
I think that's like one of the larger advantages the longtime players have. Just so much experience that, like, right in the beginning, that's going to play a huge role. I mean, same with me, Mira. I didn't really even ever do Sanctuary. Mega Maho came and picked me up and brought me to the castle. I don't even think it was the castle at the time. It was just Serapis' base.
No, it was the castle.
He handed me a ship, and I promptly crashed it, and that was my first night in DU.
Yeah, that was fun though. That was I hate to say it, but that was kind of entertaining. I'd have to look up and
I was like, help. I mean, I flew that Switchblade too for like 3 months, so and we're not going to have that. Like, everybody's going to start with the pocket rocket and whatever supplies.
Oh, I'm gonna be landing on my tile, and dude, I promise you, give me 30 minutes, and I will have something better than that damn crap they're gonna give us.
I've actually already made a blueprint, and I was actually just trying to cut DRM-free core blueprints just to give them out of like the best starter ship that you can make with elements that are in common across all of the starter ships. So if you want to rip apart your starter ship and make a little flyer, I've got a blueprint for that. And then a slightly better one that's just a basic pocketable, but that still uses all just basic nano-craftable elements that will be easy to make in short order. I'm planning on handing both of those out.
This ship right here is going to be extremely cheap to make. It's all basic parts, all T1 parts. There's nothing advanced on it at all, and it'll be a really good starter ship. Even the voxels are things you can make in your inventory, all T1. So, silicon. Is plastic going to be pocket made now or no?
No,
Plastic
that is
is
a product.
But you can still make it in your nanopack.
Yes, but you have to have schematics.
Yeah, but
Not in your nanopack, you don't.
You still do. There's a little icon at the bottom that says schematic required if you access your nanopack.
It says that, but you can make
It's
it.
a UI bug. Yeah.
That's good to know.
so,
Yeah, anything you can make in your nanopack, you can still make without schematics.
yeah, the only thing on here I don't think you can make in your nanopack are the engines, the two large engines, but they're basics. So, I've got a few ships, but I'm just going to basically take what I got and make stuff and build new designs and roll with it.
Back to the basic days and hardly any talent buffs.
Well, actually, that's something
Go
that
ahead,
I haven't heard them address is are our blueprints still going to have their talent boosts? Because I've got like all of my stuff I make with my level 5 builder who I'm maxed across the board. So are all of my blueprints that I make ahead of time and have prepped still going to be max placement talents? I assume so.
There are
They
two
commented
posts
no.
on the forums
Yeah.
What was that?
about that. There are
Oh,
two
did they?
posts on the forums right now. One specifically about the blueprints carrying their buffs over, and then someone also made a request that like industry blueprints maintain what the machine was actually making.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm personally going to focus on piloting skills and placement skills, so I can start building the ships that'll be able to perform better for us as a group, and move from there. First thing we'll work on is fuel and engines, fuel efficiency.
Yeah, I'll probably be in the same boat as long as Small's making my factory again.
Well, I also think that the talent point being included in the wipe,
Mhm.
it changes things drastically.
It does. I don't know. But if we're going to move forward with this, one thing we're going to have to do is be positive. So there's going to be a lot of new players coming into the game now. And some of them are going to be coming in with the fact, with thought in their head, well, the game's going to be wiped, so it's a new start, we have a chance. It's kind of naive thinking that. But hey, let them think that. Let's get them in the game. Let's motivate them. Encourage them to stay. And help build them up. The more of them we bring into the game, the more of them we support, the more of them we help build up, the better the game's going to do. And we might be able to get that thriving economy, and that thriving social network and social structure that we were hoping we would have had this past 2 years. You know, and the only way that's going to happen is for us to make it happen, because NQ can't do that. They can put all the tools in the world. If we're not going to help support the new players, and we sit here and get cliquish, or we start acting like, oh, we're the poor veterans that lost everything, they're going to go away. So that's on us.
This might be a good time to pull up the Pioneer Pack reward.
Yep.
To kind of go over that a little bit.
And
Yeah,
KB sent that to me. Where's that at? Okay. So we do have 10 people in chat right now, but 1, 2, 3. 3 of them are my mods, and 1 is me. So it's 6 other people.
Resources trying hard for that raffle.
Save image.
Yeah, I posted the stuff in the announcements channel. If you wanted me to go over it, I got it in front of me.
I'm about to pull it up as an image on the stream too.
Okay, cool.
1 second, okay?
Grevlane, no, it's not how long ago you started your subscription. It's how much subscription you have paid for. So I have an alt that I only started a few months ago, but I bought her 2 1-year time cards immediately. So I paid off 2 years on her immediately. And so she'll have the full exotic one, even if they release today, even though she's only been around since like May or June.
That's definitely the important thing to keep in mind. If you received any game time codes or keys that you did not pay for them, they were free or given from a stream or whatever, then they will not count. Now,
is that true?
If you got a code from like someone like Marquis Dragon that you paid for, that code will apply.
I also got the impression that DAX will apply. They count as paid game time, even the summer DAX.
A, that seems weird. B, are DAX even going to be implemented in time for them to count? Like, I didn't think DAX were coming until release, and I thought this was what you have paid pre-release.
Okay, people.
What I do know so far is that the Recruit a Friend does receive benefits from people who used Summer DAX.
Oh, cool.
There we go. So, how to get
I need to
it
go
the
watch
13
all.
months. You have to buy. You have to basically pay per month and prepay for 12 months, and if you do that, you're solid. I'm wondering about how they're handling alpha accounts. I mean, am I only going to get the rare package because I'm on an alpha account, and then somebody who's paid for 13 months gets the exotic? I mean, what the hell? That's kind of irritating.
Well, yeah, it says specifically there which backer levels get what, right?
Yeah, I'm going to get the rare package going by that.
So just to clarify what these are. Iron, Bronze, and Silver are from Kickstarter packages. So if you kickstarted the game at those levels, then you're rare. If you kickstarted in Alpha, it was called Patron, Sponsor, and something else. And those are the exotic level.
I don't even know what mine is right now.
Thank you for that info code, Infused, because I was confused about that part.
I could probably tell you by just looking you up on the main channel, because you get a Discord tag on the main Discord that has your backer level labeled on it.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll say sponsor, patron,
Alpha
whatever.
Access Contributor is all it says.
You have Perm, Contributor, Alpha, Creator, Trade, Architect.
Ah, okay. So contributor, that's the third one I was trying to think of. So you are correct. Contributor level is the rare level.
Kind of sucks. So for those of you wondering if I have sponsorship, I'm not even getting an exotic package. No, I don't have sponsorship. They don't do anything to kiss my butt or try to make me be nice.
Oh.
I wish, but no.
And the worst part is, I don't think you can even like buy to upgrade. You would have to buy the full 13 months in order to get that.
Yeah,
it's not like you could buy just 8 months to get yourself over the threshold. Or
Nope.
Something.
Yep.
That's right.
There are like rare cases where like you paid for your account for say like 3 months and then got some sort of a code, right? So then now you would need to purchase the remaining 10 to qualify for the exotic pack.
Where do I see them on Discord? DJ Slicer is asking.
Oh, if you're looking for the levels, it's literally just on the Dual Universe Discord. Your person, you'll have a tag on there. I can look you up.
10 exotic and 2 rare. Yeah, I don't have any exotic.
Yeah, DJ Slicer, yours says patron.
Yeah, I'm one of those crazy people who I have like 15 different tags on my primary Discord name.
That was mine now.
I don't even know what the hell all my tags are. I never even bothered to look at that crap. Arm, Contributor, Alpha, Creator, Trade, Architect, CEO, Admiral, Landed, Verified ID. My name is Orange, damn it. Yeah.
DJ Slicer, it does say patron under exotic, so I suspect that's you.
Yeah. Yeah, patron is exotic.
If you just find a message that you sent and click on your name, it tells you what all roles you have.
Okay, so here we go. Let's look at this. If you are advanced, which means 1 to 3 months of subscription, you will get 40.9 million talent points after 6 months. Is that right?
So the way that was explained is you're getting a small bonus to your talent points. I think it only comes out to like between 8 and 15 mil, but they're displaying it as more there because if you're logged in for the first few weeks or couple months after the launch, everyone is getting an accumulator bonus to talents.
Yeah.
So if you were playing through the entire first 6 months or whatever it is, that's how many you get. It's not just given to you if you got the package.
Gotcha. So it's a cumulative thing. And then you get 600,000 quanta after 100,000 quanta a month.
Yeah, it's relatively mediocre amounts of Q.
The quanta feels like that is a waste of time and breath. I hate to say it, but 100,000. We get 150 every time we log in.
Well, that's actually why I put that in my list of questions. Is are we still going to get that?
Yeah.
Because honestly, those quanta rewards are so low that I'm like, are they getting rid of bots and the daily login bonus? Because otherwise, 100,000 quanta a month it's a penny tip. It's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I could go pick up a few rocks off the ground and sell it to a market bot and have that.
As long as the market bot still exists.
Yeah.
That's the question.
So what are they doing to make that actual valuable? Because that looks like tossing pennies in a well to me.
It's kind of like how some of the new achievements give you 120 talent points.
Yeah.
Complete waste.
It's like 17 seconds. Do you want to waste those 17 seconds?
I mean, it's like a minute and 17 seconds.
The good thing we know about this, and this has been our experience in the past, is things like
Maybe
this
Decker.
can actually be changed. Exactly.
Yeah, I think the quanta rewards are rather, it's kind of like buying a piece of candy and basing the purchase on how pretty the wrapper is. It looks cool, yay! There's quanta, but the amount is like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, as I said again, like why that's my question number 4 is what quanta faucets are still going to exist,
Yeah.
because I look at this and I'm like, something's not adding up here.
Yeah, I mean, is having a billion quanta in your wallet going to be a rarity now? I mean, because if those are active, if those numbers are representative of where the market and the average player base is going to be after the wipe, I might be giving away 5K giveaways instead of 5 million,
Yeah.
When your
don't
5,000
worry.
raffle, boys.
Quanta will still be up there because the mission rewards are still
that we know of.
absurd that we know of.
Yeah, that might change too. That's what we're wondering about. If those rewards are meant to be, yay! Look at the rewards. How is the rest of the quanta balance going to be?
Yeah, that's my question 4. Daily login bonus, will it still exist? Will the bot buyer still exist? And will affiliate missions still exist?
Let's keep
Because
going.
No, Gremlin made a point. See, look at this. All the time they say they spent on the decision, and the details are completely cloudy. Giving them my money is confusing. That is a fail. Crazy Horse says he agrees. Part of the white. Well, yeah. I mean, Metallical. I think that was part of their frustration was this game was envisioned as a long-term play base. Like they were looking at the play loop of like EVE Online, where you have years and years and years of investment of time to be able to do this, and we hit end game in a matter of weeks because I don't think they were expecting the creativity. You know what I'm saying? I really
it's like
don't
the old
think
gaming trope. Like, it will min-max the fun out of anything, and
Yeah.
will, like, exceed the expectations of a dev, like 100% of the time.
It's just really surprising because honestly, like testers are some of the most intense people I've ever seen. I find it difficult to believe that they didn't stick a tester in front of this game and see them min-max their way to perfection.
They
in 2
did. That
weeks.
was alpha.
Fair. But it
And
still happened in beta.
I think they thought they fixed it, and I think they underestimated the player base. I mean, we've all done things that they thought were not possible or they'd never expected. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, my damn trees still don't work.
Even with the mission changes, like, it's really easy for someone to say, like, oh, nobody does missions now. I know multiple people that still, until the reset announcement, they were doing missions daily.
Yeah.
Right? Because it actually became a really good time to do it.
Random's not a DU player. So his comment right there actually makes more sense than he realizes, I think. But Random's a real life friend of mine. You can't have a world building game and be surprised when people build their worlds. You give us a blank canvas and say have fun, and you got crazies like me, and we're gonna have fun, and you end up with shit like this. Oh, let me turn that picture off. You tell me to have fun and give me a sandbox, that's what you're gonna get. I'm gonna go stupid with it. You're gonna get stuff like that. You're gonna get stuff like the Gaia in this castle in Ember City. I mean, you're gonna get those things. You're gonna get things like Atlantis. I mean, the things we have built in this game are mind-boggling.
Also, think about kind of the other side of that coin. Like, in a min-max fashion, there were a million towers everywhere specifically
Mhm.
because that's the way the mechanic worked.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, I can just build this massive tower up that's, little tiny thing that no one will be able to see, but I can take off my ship from HEG at that height.
Yep. And yes, Grevlane, I totally agree. It constantly surprises me how scientifically based, as you said, the player base of this game is. How many programmers play this game?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, we've got 10 people in this chat. How many of us are professional programmers in real life?
You
was
need
at
to
one
stick the
point,
P
but
word
yeah.
in there.
There's too many people talking, but quite a few.
Well, he said you stuck the P word on there. Professional.
Not professional yet.
Oh, well, I mean, I am. But, okay, fair enough.
I still think the average age of the DU player is much higher.
Yeah, I had somebody else asking me about that today. I won't say their name because of reasons, but they were asking what the average player base was, and I had to think about it. I'm like,
40?
yeah, I mean, because we have people that are younger, but then we also have people that are older. I mean, we have 60s, 70s. I know of a few 80-year-olds playing this damn game. So, if you average it out, yeah, the average player age in this game is in the late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, probably.
I think there's like a level of like literally building that tree took you like Mr. Miyagi level patience, not just because of like the design, but also the struggles with the servers.
Oh god,
so
yeah.
Like a younger player would have literally just uninstalled.
And they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually hit 50 people tonight, yo. Look at that. Damn.
Oh, well.
Back to the rewards though, because I want to get through that for sure.
Yeah, the rewards, I'm kind of, like I said, disillusioned with the Quanta. It doesn't make much sense to me. But you know how that goes.
Let's put that on the questions list.
And then the items. The items are very... Okay, the talent points are valuable. Okay? That's the only thing in those packages really like, yay, the talent points. But Quanta, meh. The items, woohoo. And I'm not trying to be mean, but I mean, they're mostly deco items and schematics for cores.
Is that 5 schematics for the core, and then you get the whirlpool and the Art Deco jar?
Yeah, you get Art Deco jar, a whirlpool, a tier one rare item, the whirlpool, and then Art Deco jar. And then you get 5 schematics for dynamic core spalls. For the tier 2 or the rare, you get the triangulum, I don't know what that is, Art Deco jar, Art Deco carpet, 10 schematics for dynamic core units, smalls, and mediums. So you get 5 smalls, 5 mediums. Then for the third tier, it's the same thing. You get 3 random items that are decorative, and then you get 5 small, 5 medium, 5 large dynamic core schematics. They get 15 schematics. The schematics useful. The other things, not something to write home about. Most people are going to stick them in a box and forget they exist.
Well, I was gonna say I do think that there is that aspect in DU where like the prestige of certain items is missing. Like we have the bonsai or whatever, right? But like, if you got the recruit a friend reward of like the Helios sculpture, I felt like that was really cool.
Yeah, I think it's a missed opportunity that they could have used to raise more capital for the game if they had sold and produced more exclusive items like that, or skins, even just skins on stuff that they've talked about forever about having element skins, and sell them. Like hell, why not? You know, it's artistic, doesn't affect the game. It's purely something that shipbuilders can apply to their stuff and make their things more valuable and more interesting, and they would get money for it.
Yeah, Warpforged is right though. Those schematics have a flat crafting cost value now that you could just put on the market.
Okay, so I got a question. The talent points. This says 40.9 million after 6 months with a bonus of 1 million a month. So that's 6 million. It's not 40.9 million. Did they screw up on this graphic?
Talking about the talent points thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, the mathematics does add up. It was that thing I was talking about earlier where every player in the game is going to get a bonus to the talent points they accumulate over the first 6 months. So everyone is getting most of those talent points.
Okay, so like on Serapis, I'll get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 million extra above and beyond the average player.
Essentially, yes.
And anybody that has exotic will get 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 million above and beyond. And if anybody has advanced, you're getting 6 million above and beyond the average player.
You know, considering it for a second time now, it's actually kind of weird that they're giving that huge talent point boost to everyone for the first part of the game, because one of the reasons they're claiming for a wipe is the disparity between players.
Yeah.
So if you join after these first 6 months and you have no talent points, you're way behind now.
Yeah.
Yeah, many of their justifications for doing this, I don't see as something that's not going to just apply again in a few months.
Yeah, I said that before. I was hoping they wouldn't go with the economic disparity as a reason for a wipe. If there's a technical reason, give me the damn technical reason. Be honest about it. Don't use economics as a reason, because it's not going to take us very long to make that a moot point. And you're going to have people really quickly that are going to have a lot of crap. You know.
Did anybody catch Entropy saying, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, but like he hoped this was the only wipe/launch?
I did catch that, and I did include that in my comment. That's question number 1 on my questions.
Okay, and I missed that part. What was the...
NQ Entropy said that they need to be vigilant not to let that sort of thing happen again, and later he said, we hope that we only have to launch DU once. And I think it was just a joke.
Yeah, but you can't make jokes like that when you've had a reputation like NQ does.
Yep.
You know,
I did find it really disheartening and concerning to see that joke made, or that statement made, in the wipe announcement. Like, we have a lot of people who have rightfully pointed out that JC said there would be no wipe. And now they're saying, oh, we're wiping, but now we won't wipe. And I don't love that.
Let's hope there won't be another wipe. That comment, even if it was a joke, was a very poor taste.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I believe it. Like, I don't think that they would wipe again after launch, but it is still concerning.
Now that's in the back of your head, though. You can't get that out of your head, can you?
But you can see some of the systems that they've talked about in the future almost requiring a wipe, like power systems.
But we're going to wipe before we get power systems.
That is question number 2 on my list, if y'all haven't read it.
Yeah, I've read it, and that's why I kind of am bringing it up, though. So, like,
yeah.
If we build all these ships and all these structures and all these factories, and then after launch, they get released, and none of your blueprints can be dropped because they're too much power for that core size, or your factory no longer runs in the manner, like, to me, that might be another time to wipe.
Well, we had situations like that happen in Imperion, where they added in CPU to ships, and they added in, it wasn't power grid, but they added in CPU limits to ships. And you could build CPU add-ons and stuff like that, but it required everybody to redo their stuff. And it wasn't a wipe, it wasn't any reason to wipe like that. People just redesign their shit and adjust it. So, I don't know. I guess my concern is when a company... I don't want a wipe to become a fallback tool. Because if they get that reputation for, oh, well, we don't like the balance of the economy, we're going to wipe. That's a major concerning thing, because as a streamer, And I know I'm not a big streamer. I get that. I have no illusion of grandeur. I know I'm not some kind of mega streamer. I got 54 people in here. You guys are amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love you guys to death. But I ain't got no 1,500 or 2,000 people in here. But at the same time, I'm sitting here every night telling people, hey, I enjoy playing this game. Come play this game with me. I'm supporting this game. I'm putting my face on this game. And if I'm putting, for lack of better words, if I'm putting my reputation up for this game, and that can make me look like a dick, to be honest about it. So I'm really hoping that they realize that there's a major trust issue with their player base. They need to be careful about what they say, the jokes they make. They need to be professional about this. They need to be serious about this. If you can't refrain from making inappropriate jokes, which that was an inappropriate joke if it was a joke, then you need to stick to the text-based releases. I hate to say it, but it's the damn truth. I mean, you guys agree with that statement?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of like as simple as like you got to read the temperature in the room.
Yeah.
And I've explained it before as like most DU players have lived on a roller coaster, like really, really high highs and really low lows. And so like a joke like that, maybe as an offhand comment, like I said, I noticed it instantly. I was like, I literally rewinded it. I was like, did he just say we hope? What?
Mm-hmm. It's just they don't have the faith or the trust of the player base right now. Now, that's not to say that that is all NQ staff members, and that's not directed at any individual NQ staff member. That is just how we feel about the way the company has been managed and the way the information has been how it's presented to us. I keep having to moderate myself.
I have a secret hope because I like to be optimistic. I'm always the optimistic rainbow in the room, even when I'm surrounded by fire in a burning building. I'm hoping that when they slipped up about the potential for a wipe, I'm hoping that they had already known at that point that they were going to wipe, and they knew that it would cause backlash. And I think that they kind of shut down. This is all just pure theoretical. They shut down internally because they didn't want to start, communicating about what they were going to do and lose a large part of the player base. They wanted to rip off the Band-Aid right before launch. So part of me hopes, because I think the best case scenario is that they've known for a while and they haven't been communicative because they've been developing these systems and they wanted it to be exclusively for launch. Things like the power systems, the DAC system, maybe some more creator style content things. I know I'm overly optimistic for that, but
yeah.
My hopes are raised by the fact that they're going to be doing a live stream to talk about stuff. And maybe that's when they'll unveil some of the plans.
Oh, okay. So that might be the case. Where we're going to work on questions, try to submit some questions, get them to ask the questions. Maybe they'll, But going forward, we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do. So I know we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to be people that like doing certain things. We're going to be assigning roles. You hit this running, I'm going to hit this running, and we're going to take on our roles and knock things out and come together like a group. As we build our characters back up and be able to train more diversified talent points, those lines might blur a little bit. But we are going to have to work as an organization to get going quicker, which is going to be a nice change. That's going to be a very different dynamic to the gameplay. Because the first time we started, when beta first hit, it was 2 days into the game, and we were basically playing separate games. And that's not going to be an option this time.
this is some weird thing. I literally just had this idea pop into my head, but I almost wish like talent points went to an org in some way or fashion, because I think like a lot of players' hesitance to do a system like that is like Corsarius is our warp cell buffer, and he's there for the first 3 months and then disappears, and now we literally don't have someone to buff X.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. It's after a few weeks or even a month or two, we're going to start seeing those role boundaries blur as people fill in to cover each other's butts. Because you're going to have to do that. You know, we're going to have a couple industry people. We're going to have a couple ship buffer people. And as those ship people are training, they're going to cross over each other to where they're no longer 6 different people. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's too easy to max out skills. Like right now, I'm a max shipbuilder.
Well, you're clearly not an industrialist.
Any function. Oh, fair enough. I'm not fair, but like any individual ship element that's not PvP related, I'm maxed on one of my characters, and I don't know. It seems weird to me that they're all capped at level 5. I kind of almost feel like there should be like almost an infinite number of levels. It just scales exponentially, and then you could have people super specialize if they wanted to, right? But I don't know. It's just my 2 cents.
Well, also, one thing you might not know since you're not in the industry is the level 5 talents for industry. I don't know the actual increase, like percentage-wise, but they're a hell of a lot bigger now.
Yeah.
And that happened when they did the kind of the talent point reset. So there were people out there that had, like, say, level 5 piloting on their warp beacon production line. And they went through and they built all the stuff or they, trained up all the talent points. And then they got to that one and they didn't have enough.
Okay, Sagacious, you there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You have been quiet this whole time. What is your take on this?
I'm optimistic. I'm with Code. Like, I'm hoping that they've been keeping a much more advanced version of the game, behind closed doors, and that's what's going to release. There's a lot of other issues that are going to come up, like on launch, performance issues that are going to get, like in reviews and things that are going to stop people from joining. So that's kind of the main stuff I'm worried about. They still have a long ways to go. Like, we all know that. Like, power systems, the industry, the schematics that they came out with is pretty horrible. I hope they come up with something better.
The real question though is what's your market or what's your charging scheme going to be for your HUD?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I'm not sure.
Because I don't know if I can live without that. I think I'm going to have to figure out how to use Arch's HUD again.
Let me tell you, the new one that I rewrote, this one that I'm working on now, is fantastic. It flies so smooth.
Hey, don't forget about Albatross HUD. Come on.
Oh, true. I should try that one. I think.
But it doesn't have an autopilot. That's
the question is, does it have autopilot? Yeah. Okay. Well, then it's useless to me. I'm sorry. I love you, but no.
Damn, that was cold.
I talked to Decker the other day about it. I was trying to.
Where's the unfriend button? Hold on a second. Give me a minute here.
All right, get him up.
Oh, I suppose I earned that.
One of the main things is code protection that
yes.
They don't have anything for yet, and it's not going to be during launch, but hopefully sometime shortly after.
Yeah, it'd be great if you could have something like that to distribute your code, because like the building license is cool and all, but it's a pain to manage.
Yeah, I asked them in the meantime, like, okay, they had mentioned that hard drive thing, that you could maybe sell them or whatever. But I was like, in the meantime, you could pick up databanks, everything, and it stores the data. Why can you not DRM a chair and pick it up and sell the DRM chair?
You know what I wish, and this is going to sound really... One thing I would love is the ability to transfer a DRM, the ownership of DRM. Like the original owner could right-click on a ship or right-click on a schematic and transfer the DRM ownership to somebody else. So, like, with me, I've got ships that are DRM in their old orgs. I still have alts in those orgs, so I'm not going to lose the blueprints. But it would be nice if I could have that characters in that org transfer the ownership to XBX or to myself personally.
Yeah, legit. I'm actually struggling right now with those blueprints that I was mentioning earlier of the starter ships that I made. I can't make DRM-free copies of the blueprints, and I don't know why. I tell it to create a DRM-free copy, and it doesn't. But
Yeah.
I made them originally under an org, and I'm still part of that org. I'm still the super legate of that org.
Mhm.
But when I say create a DRM free copy, it just gives me a regular old core blueprint. I don't know why.
We had that problem. Big Ginger Man found a sculpture that was DRM free that was abandoned, and he tried to make a DRM free blueprint, which normally works, and it didn't. It just made the regular one.
Yeah.
The other thing I don't know why they haven't fleshed out more yet is the mission system.
Yeah.
Like, why is it still a message board instead of like contracts, repeatable missions, like things that we can actually post, like to help things get done, like much
Well,
easier
I
than what we have.
tried. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've seen a few people try to make stuff, but honestly, the player base is pretty small. I do wonder if something like that might be more successful if and when we have more players.
That's kind of what I'm hoping. I'm hoping if they do a proper marketing run, an honest marketing run, that we could possibly see a good player influx of new virgin players. And I'm using the term virgin intentionally because if they come in after the wipe and at the full lunchtime, they're not going to have been really exposed to all the drama and headaches. And I hate to say this, Ancient brother, you know I love you to death, but the pre-scoopy thing, they're not going to have any idea what any of that means. They're going to come in with very untainted eyes. And some ways, I think the game needs that. You know, we really need that. The game needs a fresh set of players that don't... Oh, I know. I'm just saying. But the game needs a fresh set of players that isn't pre-tainted by past drama. And that's another thing that comes back to us as old streamers. Are we going to see these new players coming in and indoctrinate them and make them hate the game too? Or are we going to give them the opportunity to explore the game and come to enjoy it for their own reasons?
My
Yeah.
entire time playing DU, there's been a moderate level of what I'll just define as doomsaying.
Yeah.
Right? Like literally when I joined the
Yeah.
game, everyone was like, dead game, JC's gone. Right? And just every time anything happened, there was just like more doomsaying. And in some cards, might have been true, but I've said this before, there are a fair amount of people who I call the ostriches because they play DU and their head is just in the sand.
Or
They
up
are
an
just-
ass.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss. They don't care about anything. They are not in the Discord. They don't watch streams. They're just like, I just built my pocket ship. Yay! You know?
Yeah, we got two types of ostriches in this game. We have the ones with their head in the dirt, not knowing what's going on around them, and then we got the ones with their heads up somebody's ass or their own ass.
And then there's the people like Sten, like one of the Crash Industries guys. Like he just logs in and mines. That's all he does. He just likes to log in and mine stuff. And so like we literally up until this point, although he doesn't really like the mining unit, so I think he's probably going to be leaving. But up until this point, we make sure that he has ships around and we make sure that we pick up the ore, and he's content. He just likes to log in and just mine a bunch.
Yeah, I think. How do I put this? After the wipe, once full release is here, I'm going to be heavily focused on making sure that XVX members have a collective content to allow them a way to enjoy the game as a group. I have learned, unfortunately, that I cannot rely on NQ to provide said content for my members. So, that's something I'm going to take on myself to make sure that we're organizing events, we're doing things, we're planning things out, we're supporting our members. Ant-Man Killer 23, welcome to the stream and thank you for the follow.
Well, they exist, Ancient. I've met them. Players that are just totally disconnected.
Oh, yeah.
There may not be as many as, you would think, but they exist.
Yeah, they do exist. Even in the
Also,
Discord.
You're not wrong though that they're probably not going to help the game grow that much, because if they're not out talking, contributing, then they're not marketing, right?
And what you were kind of tagging on what you were saying, Surface, is I call that like the cruise ship mentality,
Yeah.
and it's like something we're definitely missing out on. Like, uh, essentially every day of the week in DU, there should be a repeating activity. So Monday is bowling, Tuesday is Pac-Man, Wednesday is shipbuilding
Yep.
Voxel Expo, Thursday is PvP, and Friday is race night.
Oh,
And then on the weekends, like so when you
yeah.
have the community building those type of events, right? Then someone just literally makes a calendar, right? And NQ
Yep.
pushes out that calendar. These are weekly things that happen, and on one Tuesday, 10 people show up. On another Tuesday, 30 people show up. And then on another
Well,
Tuesday, 3 people show up.
I'm going to be like XVX racing is going to be a thing after the launch. I plan on setting the racers up. I'm going to do a T1 version of the racers so we can start getting into this. That's one thing I'm going to work on building is taking the F1 racers, little tiny ones, and making a base T1 version of that ship that's designed to be cheap and easily made, so we can get that racing going immediately. We do need to get the HUD cleaned up. The HUD's functioning; it works great now, in a lot of ways. But we need to get the HUDs finished up and get things done with that. But I don't see why we can't have that going within a week of the game starting. Maybe 2 weeks tops. If we make the ships cheap enough to get into, it would be a good draw for player base. Or voxel. So we'll have the comb you need. Hint, hint. But I mean, those ships are all extra small engines. The racers. So there's no reason why we couldn't make those things in bulk and roll with it,
Yep, and definitely something we need to see. When they added Haven, they actually added a bunch of bots selling a bunch of elements as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that could change the curve for the first week or two.
Yeah, I'm curious if those will still be there. Ooh, I gotta add that to my questions.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of my key questions because at the moment they sell pretty much every basic flight element in the game, up to, in some cases, up to I think medium size on a couple things.
Yeah, there's some things, some items like hovers, I believe, are an example, and brakes. There is no extra small, so the small is actually an extra small, and the medium is actually a small. We just call it small and medium,
Yeah.
but under the hood, it's actually small and extra small. It's weird.
I don't know how to say your name, Nayofe, or whatever, but I think that's on a lot of our...
Yeah, it's small engines. So 4 small basic engines with the full build on this ship would be cheap as hell to build. And the only thing that's going to be difficult is the database and the programming board.
I think that is like what, though, like the veteran players see is like what you're essentially talking about is what I always say is like the honeymoon period. What happens after the first 3 months when people get bored.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or, another larger issue is like known bugs that I'll just label as literally game breaking. And if they make it through the launch, you could see yourself in a position where items are duping again and people are backpacking to a PvP roid and mining with unlimited link range.
Yeah, like that bug that's going on right now.
Yep.
What bug? The unlimited link container bug?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do wonder if they'll fix that.
The container can even be destroyed or anything. It doesn't matter. You can still use it.
So Strider, you've been here for a while. Do you have any comments?
Well, I'm new to the game, and I'm just trying to learn. In a way, I'm glad for the white, but I don't want to lose what ships I have got now. But I understand why they got to do it.
Can you expand on kind of why you feel glad about the white?
Well, it'd be nice to start over where everybody's starting off at the same time, just so you. But like you say, the ones that's been here are going to know what's going on, but then they can help the ones who don't if they want to.
Did you feel like you were super far behind?
Yeah, I feel like I'm far behind, but I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, no,
There's
I'm
a
not
lot
trying
to
to take
learn
a
in
dig
this
at you.
game, in a way.
I feel like that's kind of one of the things that's hard for a longer player to really understand how far ahead they really were.
Yeah, but how many times have the players that have been here have been pulled back because of changes they've made in their updates?
But also, this isn't like a normal MMO. Like what is really far along? We have a bunch of stuff, but we can't really do anything that other people can't. Literally, all you can do is fly to different planets. Like there's nothing like locked.
Not to start the argument about schematics being needed or not, but I mean that was the first time we saw a large portion of players leave. Is after schematics were added and people's entire factories were made useless overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Bergency, welcome to the stream, brother.
I mean, I understand why they need that, but they could have done it without schematics. Like I don't know why they didn't just focus on the power system and make larger factories like take exponentially more power that takes much more fuel to run, which would make them not as profitable as having a lot of small factories for people. Something like that. Like something more creative that doesn't like make it tedious.
I know one thing though, it'll be a long time before a Gaia flies again.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you guys though, because of the conversation with the whole white thing and like the game starting up again. Do you guys see a large portion of the players that were already here that are gone coming back after an official launch?
No.
And I don't think so either.
Not long term.
That's a huge issue.
I think you get them back, and then they'll look at it and be like, "Oh, this is the same reason I left this game is because I'm done."
I hate to say this, but if we want a new player base to be able to thrive, in some ways, the toxic, and I'm not saying that the people themselves are toxic, but they've been made that way because of the situations.
You're gonna have toxicity no matter what.
Yeah, but
come or go. Every game has it.
The more of the older players that come back, it's going to be even heavier saturation, and I wonder if that might do more harm to the game at launch than if them not coming back.
Them not coming back is is sealing the fate of this game. The image this game, the taste that this game has put in their mouth already, has sealed its fate, in my opinion. They're not coming back, and they need that player base if they want to succeed.
Yeah.
And it's already gone, and it's not coming back. Because that's all your hardcore space gamers, the people that watch these games that come, that would have created the notoriety, the publicity for it. They're just slowly bleeding out. And even with an official launch, they're just going to keep slowly bleeding out. They're not going to make lots of money, so the company's not going to succeed there. Their investors aren't going to be happy, which I'm sure they're probably not happy already. I mean, there's a lot of factors to it, and I think they're just hanging on by a thread, and that's all they're going to keep doing.
We had a different experience in New Genesis. Like, we had a handful of players that left because the wipe announcement about the announcement happened. And literally, we posted that in our Discord. And with hours, 4 or 5 of them were back in voice and just chatting about how excited they were to come back. Now, that's not the overall feeling, right? But, there's at least a handful of players that should come back.
Is that just one incident that caused that? Because Fuse had multiple incidents that has just driven the player base away and further away.
Yeah, this was just specifically like people felt like if there was going to be a wipe, they didn't want to invest any time. And now that the wipe's been announced, they're ready to come back and give it another shot.
Yeah, I've heard that sentiment a lot too. People were like, the only reason why they weren't playing was because they didn't know how to play, because they didn't know what the hell was going on. So now they're in the game now, preparing themselves for a wipe and getting ready for how they're going to handle once the wipe hits. I know one thing I'm going to miss. This damn little thing right here.
I just don't see this game pulling off something like what No Man's Sky did.
If it does, it's going to tank us.
And they got lucky. They got lucky.
It took more than 2 years for No Man's Sky to get the respect that they have now. So never say never, but
It's going to take us contributing to that positive energy if we want that to happen.
Like, I don't know if Starbase is going to bounce back from their situation, but I think what they did was maybe the smarter move. And I think they did that because they were watching what was going on with DU.
Yeah.
I think they're still working on that game, but it's just completely behind the doors. And, you know,
These grabby Vagar much? Yeah, I mean, it's like uncertain times, like more than ever.
Yep.
And the player base can only do so much. Like, us being positive can only have so much of an impact. But as we said before, NQ has to kind of like rebuild that trust. And a big part for a lot of us is like getting to see what the plans for the future are. And that's what I'm hoping the 16th is all about.
Agreed. Yeah.
Because like if you were just gonna say what the release date is, you can just put that on a piece of paper, slap out a tweet, and there you go.
Hi,
what's the
Grabby.
other game coming out next year, too? It got delayed. It's supposed to be this year. Starfield. Yeah, that alone, that right there, I think that game coming out next year will kill this.
I mean, I have
finish it.
zero faith in that game. Zero.
Yeah, no. And I don't think there's a whole lot of like.
So what's up with that? I mean, there's a lot of people that are saying they have no faith in that game.
It's because it's Bethesda.
Yeah.
Honestly, Fallout 76 is what's up with that.
Bethesda has
and
they've made mistakes, but they still make millions and millions more off of video games. They've made more than one game.
Yeah, but
I think
that's
they have a much better chance than NQ.
Yeah.
That comes down to once again, that comes down to their marketing and PR team. They got a damn good PR team.
Well, it's not just that. So they make excellent single player experience games, but their attempts to dabble into multiplayer has so far every single time been one of the worst failures of any online based game. And they correct over time, but typically at launch they fall flat on their face. So I don't have any hope whatsoever for Starfield.
Oh, it's funny because their single player games, while they're great, I haven't actually finished one since 2007.
Okay, I hate to say this, but let's go back to subject because I was part of the one that.
Legit.
Okay, so basically, right now, if we're going to stay in the game, we have one choice: to move forward and do this as a group, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Starting up solo, we can do it, but it's going to take a lot longer to get anywhere. So the only way we're going to be able to do this is come together as a group, knock it out the park, and roll with it. Now, the biggest thing we're going to have to worry about is all these new players that are going to be around us. And when I say new players, I mean players that have been in the game recently, too. Because they're still new players, like Strider here. He's a new player. And he's going to be a new player after the White, even more so. And how we interact with people like him is going to set the tone for the future of the game. Are we going to help support them and help cultivate them and help get them moving into the game like we are? Or are we going to be so focused on ourselves that we're going to leave them sitting in the dust and feeling like they're back in the same position they were before? Now,
orgs will still recruit, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
XCX will definitely still be
really
recruiting.
It'll be their choice if they get left behind or not. I don't think.
Well, to some degree, it will be their choice, but it'll also be how the veteran players be handed themselves. Because there's going to be a lot of veteran players, and I know this for a fact, that are going to do their original group, stick to their original group, and that's going to be the end of it. But
yeah, but those groups will still recruit, right?
Not always. A lot of them said they didn't want new players. I've had 6 different orgs tell me they're not gonna recruit anybody that wasn't in beta.
Yeah, there'll still be more.
But you see what I'm saying, though. It still comes down to the players. how we interact with the new players, how the new players interact with us. Are they encouraged? Are they discouraged? We going to have bitter veterans that are irritable and grumpy and spiteful, or are we going to be constructive and positive?
I think you'll see the same thing going on now with new players.
Yep. Decker makes a good point. Orgs need ships. They need allotted cores, especially early, which means time on talents, so the players control their contribution level. Anyway, yeah, you're right. So, KB. Go ahead, Ancient.
I don't know if you weren't in there that night, but I had made a graph thing. I think I was talking with Resource or Smallville about if you want to build a successful group moving quickly with some of the comments I'm seeing, like all the talent points and cores needed, create 5 orgs that technically make one org, but each of those orgs is a different thing. One is mining, one is transport and industry, or not industry, but just like transport and pilots and stuff, and have all those orgs working for each other and not letting any of them monopolize. None of them can work without the other org.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard to enforce, especially over time, though. But it is a very good setup. KB.
Yo.
So, what's your plans after Wipe?
To buy lots of accounts, get ahead, stay ahead, build a DSAT ASAP, and put guns on my ship.
That sounds very familiar.
I'll sell you mine right now, $5 million. Because it's me.
I think I said it in the holding chamber, and maybe I could be repeating myself. I'm really excited for the race. I have been pro wipe since about month number 2, and it had nothing to do with like feeling behind, because I surpassed most beta and alpha players after 60 days in this game, and yeah, I'm really excited. I have a really close-knit group of PvP friends, but I also am involved in a lot of other groups like XVX for sure, right? And tons of other people. And I'm just kind of really excited to go through that experience again. And, everyone's going to try and go for the rabbit, and I'm just going to go for the tortoise pace. Okay. That's really what's like benefited me in the past, is like slow and steady, and like don't need to overthink, don't need to be over dramatic. Like if we don't have warp cells on day 3, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? Yep. It's like just continue to play the game and make sure I'm having fun, because I think like when you're having fun, that's like contagious.
Definitely, I could definitely agree with that one. Okay, Sagacious, you there?
Yep.
What's your plans after the wipe?
Finish the autopilot, make billions of quanta selling it, sit back and relax.
Damn, I wish I could do that.
No. I mean, I'm with IC, and so we're gonna, build our factory, get our shops going, see if we can get a space core, make sure we can try and prevent Legion from getting everything,
Okay, guys, we do have a 100 mil raffle up. Hit that. That's just for fun money to do whatever you want to with and goof off in the game. Okay? Exclamation mark raffle. 100 mil.
The cores are all mine.
I'm logging in to send it to you now, Service.
Oh, no, I've got this. Fine.
Let's see if I win it again.
I had planned on doing one at the end of the stream anyway, so.
DJ Slicer, do nothing. Get Dispenser's profit. Yeah, legit.
Okay,
Ships
so.
are beautiful, man.
Oh, yeah. Who else we got? Ancient, what's your plans after the wipe?
I'm done. I'm done with the game. I will not grind for this game anymore. That's my whole thing. And I won't join in with you guys and be useless because I refuse to help with the grind. So not fair to y'all, and I'm not doing
Okay,
it.
so we got 2 with plans and 1 saying they're done with the game. I respect all the options there. Okay, so Smallville, do you have any plans?
I'm still waiting to see what that live announcement is. But right now I'm 50-50 if I'm done with the game or if I'm coming back just to retire at Haven or go full force again.
Okay, Taylor Budd is saying make it 500 mil for this raffle, y'all. 500 million quanta. So this is fun money to goof off with until the wipe. 500 million quanta.
That'll buy a couple toilet paper rolls. Oh, man.
Time to litter the planet, y'all.
So, before the subject changes any further, for the people that have been with me for a while, for those of you who are back on the stream that have not been in the stream for a while, there have been a lot of things going on in my real life. That's the reason why I have not been streaming DU as much. It has nothing to do with the game. It has to do with the fact that I have not been mentally at a point where I can handle the game at the moment. Primarily because, well, my divorce just got final. And I'm still trying to figure out how to support my kids and I by ourselves, get us into a different home just by ourselves, waiting for their SSDI to pick up and things like that. So if I have seemed short or irritable, that's why. But it has nothing to do with DU. I haven't given up on the game, I just mentally was not in a place to handle it. Because DU is a thinking game. And I ain't had the brain power to think, okay? So I've had people ask me if I'm leaving DU. No, I'm not leaving DU. I'm going to keep playing DU. I'm still going to stream DU. It's not going to be the only game I stream, but I am going to be streaming DU at least 5 nights a week. So that's what's going on with that, okay? How I'm going to go forward with this is Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be Conan Exiles, and then Wednesdays is going to be my random game night. Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And probably Mondays I'll be doing DU. Okay? Add 5 for what?
We're building up to the biggest raffle ever.
Your maths was.
I'm not adding it till I see it in my wallet.
All right, I'm sending you 500 million right now to add to it. So once he sends his, Taylor sends his, we'll just have 1.5.
Oh, Taylor sent 500.
Billion. All right, I'm sending 500 million right now.
Seraphis is my in-game name. That's my name.
Sent.
I don't even have 500.
Oh, so
anymore.
while your stream's up,
shit.
I gotta ask everybody because I did already make the announcement for the one contest before they announced this. So I don't know if you're in the chat and listen to this, write, I don't know, put a T in chat if you guys are actually building something for the Atlantis contest going on right now. I don't want to give up on the game and leave and have that going and people wanted to participate. You know, I'm not going to be that kind of ass.
Okay,
But if
so
nobody's gonna...
just a heads up, guys, the current raffle is at 2.3 billion quanta. So right now we have a raffle going for 2.3 billion quanta. And why? Wait, that's not right.
In the DU Discord, there's an events channel, and it's got the information. It's street garb, you know, stuff you'd see walking down the street: benches, trash cans, plants, trees, statues, you know, street art. And there's some rules about it fitting on a small core, stuff like that. But
I think y'all broke my wallet. Hold on. It's saying I have 0 quanta.
Yeah, I think the server's going down. Oh boy. Come play this game.
Don't need to shoot guns anymore. You just need to throw money at Seraphis.
Release ready.
That's
Yeah, but
hilarious.
I don't see many people trying out for this contest with the white coming in. All
Yeah.
the prep people will do so. I mean, if people show interest and they still want to do the contest, I'll stick around for it. But
no, the reason why I was explaining all the situation is I was asked. There's always somebody that asks me why that bar is up on the screen, and that's what's going on with that. I have 2 months to get through until the kids' SSDI pickup, and I have no more support financially from Amber. So I've got to make what I can make work. Okay, what else did I get here? Okay, so let's see. Where are we at now? And hopefully my wallet is caught up with all this. It has! My wallet's caught up. Okay, so the current raffle, if you have not entered, enter it. Because it is...
Yeah, I just threw $2 billion your way.
Yeah, I saw that.
how much did you send his way?
Just $2 billion.
So we're at 4.3 billion for the current raffle. Okay? 4.3 billion quanta for this raffle.
Just throwing it away.
I feel like I should go gather up some warp beacons to add in, but I don't have time.
Exclamation
Are we
mark
gonna have a
raffle for
before
4.
the white party.
Four.
Can we have a?
Yeah, I was going to say there's likely going to be 2 events that I know of right now. Number 1, Nuber reached out to Legion about moving their space citadel into PvP space. I assume that's why he's building 20 PvP ships to defend and have a little PvP event there. I also think that Legion will host some sort of end of the universe PvP event. We're in the midst of talking to some of the GMs about perhaps providing those magic, not blueprints, but they had them on the PTS where you could just grab a ship from a dispenser.
They
and
were
then
magic
code
blueprints.
Yeah, so something like that. So keep your ear down for that because that could be really, really fun.
It would also be helpful if they worked this time.
Okay. So we are at 4.3 billion quanta. By the way, that is the most quanta my wallet has ever seen. And it's actually breaking my wallet. It's fucking up. So, yeah. My wallet's at 5.4 billion. That's the most it's ever had in it. So the current raffle is 4.3 billion quanta. Somebody tonight's going to win 4.3 billion quanta. Which means somebody's going to have a lot of fun before the white. Let's see how this goes. And then after
We got to
this,
do a ship show one more time before the end of everything. Just have everybody in one area with a shit ton of ships, PvP or not.
I've got a dog to deal with. Great talk, gentlemen and lady from earlier and in chat. Good luck on the raffle.
But so yeah, it's basically we have a consensus from the people that are staying is the people that are going to be playing are going to be just we're going to tackle it head on. We're going to do what we got to do and rebuild. Then we have some people that are still waiting. They're unsure. They don't know how they feel about reinvesting their time and their money into this game. And then we, of course, have players that are just basically saying, I'm done. And that's going to be the result of the situation. In the future going forward, I really hope NQ steps up its marketing and PR game. I can see where they're trying, but that's been my complaint the whole time. I feel like the thoughts are never really fully fleshed out in a way that are digestible for the players. That's one of the biggest challenges with marketing is it's easy to create a marketing platform when you're looking at the project from the inside. When you're part of the project, you're part of the environment. There are things you're going to be familiar with that are going to make sense to you that you might not automatically include because well, that's just the way it is. You assume that everybody's going to know that. And that's not always the way it works. The players are looking for clarity. The players are looking for distinct, clear statements about what's happening, when it's going to happen, and why it's going to happen. And we have yet to ever really have that. And I really hope they don't use economic disparity as a reason for another wipe down the road. Because if they do, I can promise you that will just straight up kill the game. Because if it happens again for that reason, I'm not coming back. I'm done. I'll give them this once.
I have a jab at NQ and their publicity with this game. They have a worse reputation than Star Citizen, and Star Citizen's had the worst reputation for a space game for a decade.
Well, Star Citizen has a bad reputation for development and corporate leadership. Their PR team is on point, bro. I mean, they take that reputation and still spin it where people, every time they put out a PR announcement, people are like, I'm going to go buy a $5,000 ship package. How the hell do you spin that? I mean, really?
You'll be back, DJ Slicer. Don't you worry. You'll be back.
But, I mean, Ancient, come on. How do you do that? How do you take a game that has the biggest stigma around it, that people see as a money sink, and are fully aware or feel like that the owners have basically exploited the money? Come out with something.
They haven't, though. I mean, they make progress every couple months.
But,
sometimes, they have had some setbacks with, certain updates that were pretty bad. And I'm sure they felt the pain from it, but they have
But they've always had a marketing department that has been able to hype the players up and get them excited.
That's because they've had the most transparency of any other game. If NQ is more transparent about things, if they actually had a Q&A like Star Citizen does, a live Q&A answering questions gathered from previous weeks, and then
Decker
also
has
questions
a point.
asked in the chat.
Decker has a point. Here's my one thing no one can argue. What does DU have that no other game does? Voxel design. Until other games offer this, we're forced to be here.
Well, there are some other games that have voxel design, but this is the very first attempt at an MMO where you can use precision vertex manipulation.
Yeah. I think that's what he means.
Yeah.
That's the only thing this game has for it is the voxel design. That's the only thing that has kept it alive at all.
Well, that's something they bought too, right? They didn't come up with that.
I thought that was JC's design.
I
could be wrong though.
From like Sony.
No,
They
the
want to save this
technology
game.
is what they developed. Yeah.
Go combine with Starbase and munch everything both those games had going for it into one. Fix all the issues. Don't launch an alpha as a fucking beta. That was another thing.
The Drea says you're correct, not JC. But I think the biggest problem they had with the launch was the beta we got is the beta you would have gotten 20 years ago. And because of other games oversaturating that term beta and leaving their game in beta as a completed game, it's kind of ruined that term. I mean, 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago, if you'd come to me and say, hey, I want you to be part of this beta, I would have been excited about getting into the game way before. Oh, we got a raid from American Riot. What's up, brother? How you doing tonight? I hope you had a great stream. It's unusual to see you ending so early. I hope everything's okay.
I could just picture American Riot yelling that.
Yeah, I know. Hype, yeah. Sorry, Riot. I am not the hype man. That is you. But yeah, as far as the game goes, they are treating this beta like a beta from 2 decades ago. And we're looking at it from today's eyes. Brother, I understand that, and that is awesome. Go take care of her. So, bring in a game economics to value. Yeah, that would be nice. There's a lot of things they could do. I don't think they have the budget for. I'm hoping after a full release hits. For those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about Dual Universe. Dual Universe has now released announcement that there will be a wipe of the game at full release, which is coming very soon. Beta will be over. They're going to full release the game, and all content in the game is going to be wiped. We will only maintain our blueprints of the ships we have designed or buildings we've designed. Outside of that, and Lua, of course, which I can't wipe, everything else is going to be reset from clean. So if you want to get into DU, that will be the time to do it, because you'll be starting off on an even playing field with the rest of us. For those of you joining us with him, Dual Universe is a sandbox MMO where you can build whatever the hell you want from nothing but voxels. Everything here was player built. But it's time for launch. Beta is over. And now it is time for us to hit the ground running as players. What are we going to do with this, and how are we going to handle it? Now we have another announcement coming from NQ soon, so let's see what they have to say. Let's see.
What if they said?
Go ahead.
Sorry. What if they said April Fools and just kidding, we're not wiping?
I think that they're going to have some butthurt people. That's for damn sure. But yeah, let's see what it has that they have to say. If they say April Fools, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. But I doubt that. And yes, Modly, I do agree. There needs to be more ways to stimulate player interaction. More bonsai tree stuff. I feel like this is a pep rally. In some ways it is a motivational. In other ways it's more of an acceptance of what's happened. And we know we can't change it. They're not going to go back on this. So we have to figure out how we're going to move forward. And some of us aren't moving forward. And that's a very real thing. I'm not happy I'm going to be losing Ancient. I consider him a friend. To not have him in this game, playing this game with me, is going to really bug the hell out of me. Same way with a few other people I've lost over the past 2 years. Not having them here still irritates the hell out of me. Ice Nine is gone. He's probably never coming back. Killin' Jay, that whole group, his group is gone. I've got Smokey and Sleazy Bear, they're gone. I can keep naming names of people that I enjoyed playing this game with that are just gone now. And they're not coming back. And yeah, I agree with you, Arnrad. Yeah, it can be sad without Scorch Earth in general chat, and you'll never see me do that. That's not my style. I can be blunt, I can be honest, but you're never going to see me doomsday in the ship. Okay, for those of you in Dual Universe, we currently have a raffle going for 4.3 billion Quanta. So, if you want to chance exclamation mark raffle in chat, take the Quanta, go have some fun. Be stupid. Do crap. Buy stuff you never would have bought before and blow it up. Who cares? Enjoy the game while it's here before it wipes, and learn some things you didn't know, baby. That's enough money to buy a damn warp beacon, to build a massive ship, do whatever the hell you want to, and fill it up with fuel. Do it. Do something in the game you haven't done, and with a wipe you won't be able to do for a while. You guys agree with that sentiment?
For sure.
I would normally say yes, except that the markets are kind of dry, so it's hard to buy anything.
Well, if anyone wants to have some fun and do something they've never done before, they can join my org, the Transport Union, and warp out to Felly, to my warp beacon. And if you hit Felly from the correct angle, you warp inside the planet. Just for fun.
That's interesting.
You actually survive it. I wasn't sure the first time. I made a throwaway ship to try it.
I was about to say, and then he comes along and collects your core and chip.
No, you just slowly pop out of the ground. It's really funny. Just kind of like it's like you're in Jello. You just sort of float up to the top and pop out.
That's hilarious. Yeah, if you could set up where you own the tile right there where you pop out, that'd be a perfect landing system. Warp in and land.
Oh, there's the waffle.
Oh.
From any angle, you land in Atmo.
Okay, here we go. Let's see who won the 4.3 billion Quanta. Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse 68. You won 4.3 billion
Wait,
Quanta.
wait. Is that new player still in here?
Yeah, Strider.
Strider. Crazy Horse. I have a question for you. Let's donate it to the new guy.
That's not a question.
Oh,
Half. He says half. Let's
totally
half it.
no.
Okay, so we'll half it. Half of it goes to Strider, half of it goes to Crazy Horse.
I
So-
just want to make the new guy rich, stupid rich.
That's 2.15 billion Quanta.
I feel like this needs a needs a hype man. It needs an American Riot hype.
Is it Strider? What's your name in game?
I still can't even see my wallet. Your wallet's 0, so I don't know if you're even going to be able to send it.
Oh, it's there. Strider
There it
is
is.
Strider you.
I'm gonna go to the end of the world PvP events with
Yeah,
fireworks
Strider
on my
you.
ship.
2, 1,
What was that, Small?
5, 0.
I'm gonna go to the end of the world PvP event with just fireworks and shoot at players.
Okay,
I
then.
wonder if the devs will teleport Atlantis out there into PvP space for this.
Bring my gold-plated Vector Voyager. Not even have any guns. Just fly it around. Get shot out.
Okay, there we go. You guys have been sent your payouts. My wallet is back down to 1.1.
Oh, you need to take the captain's crown out to the end of the world with that.
Oh, you're right. I should.
And Serapis, I have no issue if you were to core blueprint Atlantis and take it into the next wave. I
Okay.
know it wasn't necessarily your project, but but if you want it, I won't say nothing to it.
Might have to have you make the blueprints just in case, because you never know. A year or two, you might decide to come back. Once things are built up again.
Nah, it's not necessarily just the white and stuff. I just Star Citizen is making some leaps and bounds, especially this last batch, and we're looking at some big things. And working with BSI, we've got so many new people coming in, and we have so many old people coming back. It's just a lot to handle right now. We're dealing with hundreds of players each day, and I'm falling behind on that stuff.
Mhm.
So probably a good thing for me to walk away. I mean, I trust me, I'll still be in here annoying you every once in a while.
Awesome.
I'll get you all slobbing on that Star Citizen. Just wait till we get a few more mechanics in there.
Okay, so we've done this. It is 11 o'clock at night. I try to keep the Dutts 2 hours. You guys have been amazing tonight. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure you follow. If you really enjoyed the stream, hit that sub button. I'm here 7 nights a week. Either I'm playing DU or Conan or another random game on Wednesday nights. And I will start doing my art streams during the day again. So you guys will be seeing me painting and doing stuff like that during the day. So that's what's going down. I will see you all tomorrow night. So it's
Later.
time to raid. And let's see who we're going to raid.
Thanks for the money, y'all.
Who are we going to raid? Do we have anybody good to raid? Because I think all the DU viewers are in here. Mm,
No, what is the NTY abbreviation?
No, thank you.
Oh no, thank you. Okay, brain dead for a minute.
I don't know. Who do y'all want to raid? You want to raid Drew again? She's playing Minecraft.
Titty, I mean, yay.
Okay, we'll
Drew's always
raid.
a good choice.
Yeah, we'll raid Drew. Okay. Here we go, guys. We're gonna raid Drew, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Have a good night, and be safe.
Not everyone.
Make sure you guys go there and show her that DU love. She has a lot of Minecraft players in her stream, the type we can initiate and pull into DU. Go steal those viewers. Go forth and steal the players. Y'all have a good night. Take care. Be safe.